Hi everyone, back again, following evening. So the wash is all done, I should say, the washing is all done. So I've now got lots of brown stains, a little bit of extra green stuff, just some tone variations on the rather flat surfaces. What we're going to do tonight is highlighting. And I've made a little start on here, on this little section here. So let me just zoom this bad boy in. There you go. So this box I've done. So it's got a little grey edge to this disc. It's got grey edges along the side of the lid. The hinges here have had a little bit of a brush over, and I'm going to continue with the bracket and so on. And then move down to this one, which has also had. Oh, there you go. So the one below has also had a little bit of treatment on it already. Now, what am I doing this with? I'm using some ancient 20-year-old enamel paint. Yes, enamel paint. It's grey, so it's a neutral grey. It's just a sort of light grey, nothing too fancy. I could have used there's an old Humbrol 127. If is it 127? Yeah, 127. If that's a reference that you are familiar with. So what the grey allows me to do is to bring the edges back out, so your eyes can see them and detect that they're there. So your brain kind of sees the shape a lot better, but without overdoing it and making the whole thing a bit too overpowering. And I think that's a very easy thing to do, especially when you're starting out doing this sort of thing. You can get too fixated on one small item, and then you move on to the next small item and the next one behind it and so on, and then before you know it, you've done the whole thing, but you've overdone the whole thing. So the grey keeps it a little bit subtle. It's very easy to do too much. This edge, for instance, has been done. Did you notice that? You probably didn't, because it's not going to jump out at you. But if I got in close to it, then you would notice it, yes? So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. That kind of, yeah, you have to really go looking for it to see it. It's a technique that used to be called dry brushing. Having a brush that is almost dry. This is my little enamel palette tray. It's an old biscuit tin lid of some vintage. What I don't want to do is put a whole bunch of paint on. So I'm going to do a bit on this this frame here. So very gently, I'm just going to touch over some of the corners, as I'm really just trying to get a little bit of emphasis on the edge work. Now, I'm not going to do all the edges. I'm not trying to outline it, not trying to pinstripe it or anything. All I'm trying to do is give the eye something to pull it away from the background, so that it stands out a little bit from the rest of the green. So I've had lots of different colours going on, lots of different greens, and you know, if this box was a different colour to the background, then I wouldn't maybe need to do this so much, because it would stand out. But as it is, it doesn't stand out too much, and it is all the same green. I do still want some accuracy, and I can see that looked a bit too bright, so I could take it back a little bit. Yeah, and this is the thing. So this edge in here, you can just run down that. Let me try this angle. Yeah, you see how little is going out. No, you can't. Right, that's better. So not a lot of paint going on, so I can do a number of strokes and build it up eventually. And again, obviously slightly inconsistent, which is again kind of cool, kind of what you're after. You don't want a consistent, so you're not trying to pinstripe this thing. So there is now a little bit of an edge building up in here. Yeah, and that'll do. That's it. You can see that's probably the best shot there. You can just see how that's standing out a little bit further. I'll just do this bottom edge a bit. There you go. So you see that little flash has just gone on there. That's it. That's all it takes. So if I've done too much, if I've a little bit too much, I can use my finger rubber bit off, or obviously I could then take cotton bud, pop it in the you all know what a cotton bud looks like, right? Q-tip, I suppose you guys might in the States would call them, and just carefully, because it'll soak up a whole bunch of white spirit. So then again, you go back to your paper towel, dry it mostly off. Or obviously you could just clean the brush, put the brush in the white spirit, second brush if you've got one, and just take some of the paint off carefully with that. Very little time. This is a dry brush. It's not about volume of material, paint or white spirit. Okay, gently as she goes. But yeah, so for now I'm going to just crack on with this. Might take me an hour. I'm going to put a film on my phone and sit and watch a bad film while I'm doing this. That's what I like to do. Okay, but for now, that's it. Catch up with you in a bit. Right, so there we are, all done. Highlighting is done. So I'm going to declare this pod open for business. Mounting on the truck is done. There's a couple of bolt holes just inside this door and inside the back door, so I can get in there with a driver and a cross wrench underneath the flatbed to bolt it down. A few bits of Velcro, stop it vibrating, and Bob's a good one. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. A few accessories to go on, I guess. A little fire extinguisher and a few odds and sods, and the roof rack is going to go back on now I've finished with all of that. Yeah, it's really good. It's worked out really cool. I'm very pleased with it. So yeah, dive in, do something different. Hope you've enjoyed it, and any questions, drop them in the comments and we'll get back to you. Alright, thanks guys.